friends. Today I am going to discuss the MCQ of teaching aptitude with answer, which is very important for TU Service Commission and UGC NET Exam Paper 1. Now I start question number 1. Emotional adjustment of students is effective in A. Personality formation, B. Class teaching, C. Discipline, D. All of the above. Emotional adjustment of students is effective in personality formation, class teaching, discipline. In this question, option A is right, and B is also right, and C too. So, answer is D. 2. Blackboard can be included in which group category of teaching aids? A. Audio aids, B. Visual aids, C. Audiovisual aids, D. None of the above. Blackboard can be included as a visual aid in teaching. Teaching aids are important in how well a student can learn. Teaching aids help to learn and understand materials faster and better. Some of these aids consists of visual aids, audio, blackboard, chalk, chalkboard, poster, picture, student and teacher, etc. So, answer is B. The blackboard can be included in only visual aids. 3. Which of the following is related with teaching skill? A. Blackboard writing, B. Solving questions, C. Asking questions, D. All the above. In this question, blackboard writing, solving questions, and asking questions all are teaching skills, thus, option A, B, and C all are correct. So, answer is D. 4. Students who ask questions in the class should be A. Advised to meet the teacher after the class, B. Encouraged to participate in the discussion in the class, C. Encouraged to continue asking questions, D. Encouraged to search answers independently. In this question, students who ask questions in the class should be always encouraged to continue asking questions. So, option C is right answer. 5. At authoritarian level teaching is A. Teacher-centered, B. Child-centered, C. Headmaster-centered, D. Experience-based. This is teacher-centered approach because teachers have a high level of control over the classroom, but a low level of involvement with students. So option A is correct. 6. Who developed the interaction analysis category system in education for increasing the teacher effectiveness? A. Flander, B. Rayon, C. Amidon and Simon, D. Richard Over. Flander developed the interaction analysis category system in education for increasing the teacher effectiveness. Therefore, option A is right. 7. One of the important theory of moral development has been proposed by A. Lawrence Kohlberg, B. Erich Fromm, C. Daniel Coleman, D. Benjamin Bloom. American psychologist Lawrence Kohlberg developed one of the best-known theories exploring some of these basic questions. Therefore, option A is correct. 8. Character is developed by A. Willpower, B. Conduct and behavior, C. Morality, D. All of the above. In this question, character is developed by willpower, conduct, and behavior, and morality, thus, option A, B, and C all are correct, so, answer is D. 9. Which of the following is not a level of teaching learning? A. Differentiation level, B. Memory level, C. Reflective level, D. Understanding level. Memory level, reflective level, understanding level all are level of teaching learning. Differentiation level is not a level of teaching. So, option A is correct. 10. The father of psychoanalysis is A. Erik H. Erikson, B. Ian Piaget, C. Jeroen S. Brunner, D. Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud is best known as the creator of the therapeutic technique known as psychoanalysis. The Austrian-born psychiatrist greatly contributed to the understanding of human psychology in areas such as the unconscious mind, sexuality, and dream interpretation. So Sigmund Freud is the father of psychoanalysis. Option D is correct. 11. LN pedagogy computer is used. A. To motivate the learner. B. To provide feedback. C. To interact with the learner. D. For all the above. LN pedagogy computer is used to motivate the learner, to provide feedback, to interact with the learner. All are correct. So, option D is right. 12. Which of the following is die brain of the computer? A. Program. B. Central processing unit. C. Memory. D. Hard disk. Central processing unit is die brain of the computer, so option B is correct. 13. Spare the rod, spoil the child. This assumption is related to that type of discipline which has been advocated. A. By naturalist philosophy. B. By pragmatist philosophy. C. In Victorian era. D. Ellen democratic era. The naturalist philosophy is child as a gift of nature with potentialities for natural growth and according to laws of nature. The pragmatist philosophy is the pragmatist's idea of discipline is based on the principles of a child's activities and interests. They do not believe in external restraint and discipline enforced the teacher or giving punishments. It upholds discipline based on social and mutual understanding. Pragmatists believe in spare the rod, spoil the child philosophy. The Victorian era is undesirable behavior must be punished. Democratic era is rules must exist, but no corporal punishment. So, the answer is option B. 14. The proponent of the cognitive theory of teaching is A. N. L. Gage, B. Shiv Kumar Mitra, C. B. F. Skinner, D. MacDonald. Cognitive learning theory explains how we process information when we learn. The proponent of the cognitive theory of teaching is N. L. Gage, whose ideas were influenced by the school of cognitive psychology. He believed that one theory of teaching cannot serve the purpose of education. Teaching task is concerned with helping the student to find meaning in the content being taught. So, option A is correct. 15. Instruction medium affects the absence and escape from class teaching. A. Agreed. B. Indefinite. C. Disagreed. D. None of the above. The medium of instruction is the language used by the teacher to teach. A teaching activity cannot take place without the use of language. Language, communication, and education are interrelated processes. Hence, the medium of instruction and classroom teaching are directly related. Therefore, the answer is A. 16. The determinant of teaching skill training is A. Components. B. Pupil teacher. C. Supervisor. D. Headmaster. When a teacher uses various teaching methods and techniques in a controlled environment of a class, it leads to the development of many teaching skills. The complex act of teaching can be analyzed into simple, limited, and well-defined components called teaching skills. These skills can be taught, understood, practiced, evaluated, and predicted, and is acquired through training. Teachers acquire these teaching skills one by one when they undergo the various components of teaching. These components of teaching skill are the presentation of theory, modeling, planning, performance, perception, and feedback, and the integration of teaching skill. Hence, these components are what determines the teaching skill training. So, the answer is option A. 17. Which of the following is an approach to educational planning? A. Manpower approach. B. Social demand approach. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. Educational planning. It is systematically analyzing the process of educational development intending to make education more effective in meeting the needs of the society. The three main approaches to educational planning is manpower approach, social demand approach, and the rate of return approach. So, the answer is option C. 18. Informal learning occurs through A. The experience of day-to-day situations. B. The experience of lifestyle. C. The experience of society. D. All of these. All learners feel naturally motivated to learning. Learning takes place in an active learning environment, and for learning to be enriched, it should interact with both the areas, i.e., the inside and outside of a classroom. Informal learning. A learner's first ever learning starts in a home environment such as within the family, relatives, and the neighborhood. It adds to the overall development of an individual. It refers to learning and development that takes place outside of a classroom, unlike formal learning. So, the answer is option D. 19. Teacher behavior ought to be A. Administrative. B. Instructive. C. Idealistic. D. Directive. A good teacher believes in the all-round development of the students by providing them with a learner-centered environment. The learner-centered environment helps students in enhancing their creativity and sharpening their cognitive skills. The ideal teacher's characteristics are made possible by considering the environment, teaching methodologies, subject matter, and culture. So, the teacher's behavior should be idealistic. Option C is correct answer. 20. In which of the following instructional procedure is the main component? A. Synectics teaching model. B. Basic teaching model. C. Inductive model. D. Social stimulation. Basic teaching model. It is a psychological teaching model and was developed by Robert Glaser in 1962. This model explains the relationship between teaching and learning. He has divided the teaching into four important components. They are instructional objectives, entry behavior, instructional procedures, performance assessment. Synectics teaching model. It is used to develop creative writing skills in students. It is based on the assumption that creativity can be increased through training. Inductive model. This model is based on inductive reasoning wherein students generalize theory based on observations. So the answer is option B. 21. The computer-based teaching model has been developed by A. Gilbert, 1962. B. Stoluro and Davis, 1965. C. Robert Gagne, 1965. D. Mechner, 1965. Computer-assisted instruction is one where use of the computer as a highly adaptive teaching machine weakens the distinction between software and hardware. This type of instructional module was developed by Stoluro and Davis, 1965. So, the correct option is B. 22. Man is born free, but everywhere he is in chains. This statement has been given by A. Abraham Maslow, B. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, C. John Dewey, D. W. I. Kilpatrick. Man is born free, but everywhere is in chains. This quote made the Geneva-born political philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau world famous. So the answer is option B. 23. The main task of educational computer is A. Scoring the answers, B. Preserve the information, C. Analysis of data, D. All of the above. The computer has the potential to solve many educational problems. The use of computers in education can be categorized into two categories: administrative use, office use for typing, emailing, etc. In the library, computers are used for retrieval of bibliography information, cataloging, searching for books, etc. Instructional use. Audiovisual guides in the teaching process for viable learning. Make the content presentable for students and easier to understand. Possible to teach those students or learners that are located in the remote or far places. So the answer is option D. 24. What is meaning of the term curriculum? A. The subject of study offered by an educational institution. B. Organization of learning and other experiences provided by educational institutions to realize set goals. C. The prescribed syllabi in various subjects, plus practical courses and project. D. Theories and courses to be complete. Curriculum is a broad concept. Unlike syllabus, it is not a summary of theory and practical subjects. It is a systematic organization of instructional content and related activities offered by an educational institution to provide students with a sequence of meaningful learning experiences. It is the sum total of student activities which the school sponsors for the purpose of achieving a set of objectives. Curriculum refers to a prescribed course of study with a beginning and end and to be covered in a prescribed time frame. Answer is option B. 25. Which of the following are the basic paradigms in classroom teaching? A. Learning paradigms. B. Instructional paradigms. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. The basic paradigms in classroom teaching are learning paradigm and instructional paradigm. So, the answer is option C. 26. Students prefer those teachers who A. Dictate notes in the class, B. Give important questions before examination, C. Can clear their difficulties regarding subject matter, D. Are themselves disciplined. Students should prefer those teachers who can clear their difficulties regarding subject matter. So, the answer is option C. 27. Who has the least chance of becoming an effective teacher? A. One who is a strict disciplinarian. B. One who knows his subject well. C. One who has no interest in teaching. D. One who teaches moral values. The answer is option C. One who has no interest in teaching. 28. The psychological aspects of the classroom are best managed by A. The class teacher, B. The subject teacher, C. The principal, D. The student themselves. The correct answer is option A. The class teacher. 29. What is more desirable in classroom? A. A teacher delivering a lecture on the basis of the text and his own research. B. A teacher delivering a lecture on the basis of course content and standard books. C. A teacher answering questions raised by students. D. A teacher maintaining strict discipline and taking attendance regularly. The correct answer is option A. A teacher delivering a lecture on the basis of the text and his own research. 30. A micro-teaching is more effective. A. During preparation for teaching practice. B. During teaching practice. C. After the teaching practice. D. Always. Micro-teaching is more effective during preparation for teaching practice, so the answer is option A, during preparation for teaching practice. 31. Questioning skill in teaching is most useful in A. Ensuring students' active participations in learning. B. Memorizing the facts by students. C. Making students disciplined. D. Preparing students for examination. Questioning skill in teaching is most useful in ensuring students' active participations in learning. So, the answer is option A. 32. Armstrong was the main exponent of A. Problem-solving method. B. Project method. C. Discussion method. D. Heuristic method. Armstrong was the main exponent of heuristic method. So the answer is option D. 33. Microteaching is useful to students of A. Primary classes only. B. Junior classes only. C. 10 plus 2 classes only. D. Both for primary and higher classes. Microteaching is useful to students of both for primary and higher classes. So the answer is option D. 34. The most significant approach of evaluation is A. Continuous and comprehensive evaluation. B. Conducting objective term-end examination. C. Maintaining cumulative records of students. D. Semester system evaluation. The correct answer is option A. The main aim of continuous and comprehensive evaluation was to evaluate every aspect of the child during their presence at the school. This was believed to help reduce the pressure on the child during before examinations, as the student will have to sit for multiple tests throughout the year, of which no test or the syllabus covered will be repeated at the end of the year whatsoever. 35. When a student takes the same test twice, it is referred to as A. Post-test. B. Pre-test. C. Test retest. D. After test. While it is possible to observe a certain action over and over again, it is usually possible to repeat a survey only once. This leads to a test retest method, which compares two tests to learn how reliable they are. The method consists of administering the test to the same group of individuals on two different occasions. So, the correct answer is option C.
Thanks for watching the video.